Well, she sneaks around the world from Kiev to Carolina. She's a sticky-fingered filcher from Berlin down to Belize. She'll take you for a ride on a snowball to China. Tell me, where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego?
Woo! Look who's here! It's the Hollywood Squares. Welcome to the special edition of the Rockapella Hangout, which is really the Carmen Sandiego Hangout because of this awesome person.
Messing up the flow.
Are we with you every day?
Every day. In my heart. In my heart.
Thanks everybody for joining us. I know we're only on YouTube right now. We've got Katie saying hello already. Hello, Katie. She's first in. We are brought to you by a lovely, lovely thing, which is that you can get a special autographed photo. Take away the words on the upper left. Special autographed photo, which is at streamily.com/Carmen Sandiego, and you'll be able to see a bunch of individual photos as well if you want that. You know, some people want a picture of Sean Altman in their kitchen. So let's get.
Thanks for the sarcasm, Jeff.
So everybody okay? Oh, what are you drinking, Sean?
It is 1.5 parts gin and 1 part lime juice and a little bit of simple syrup.
Very nice.
So this will not be shown in Utah.
That's right, and all the kids who watch Carmen Sandiego are old enough to drink now. So, whew.
Hello, middle-aged people.
Hello, middle-aged people. Well,
thank you for staying with us.
Yeah, here's Carla. Carla's in LA. Oh, thanks, Carla. I actually saw her the other day because I'm in LA. The reason I'm with Greg here is I'm seeing my brother's play, and Carla was at the play. Thank you so much. Hi, Lacey. Wow. I'm in Utah. Hey, don't make fun of Utah.
Are you drinking? I didn't think so.
Are you drinking? Wow. We love you, Utah. We love you. So we've got a lot of nice questions coming in. We will have a few on the feed. We've also got some from the hangout at rockapella.com email box. Greg, how's life?
Life's good, thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good to
The
see
sun
my
is
buddies
shining
again.
in California.
It's a rough March day today. Yes. It's
terrible.
tough.
I can see the sun out the window right now.
Yeah.
I think that I went far from home, but I think Scott is the furthest from home.
Yeah, he wins.
Scott, you don't have to say where you are, but you are definitely far. I can confirm that. What would you like to confirm?
I'm being held in the Middle East.
Sean, you're in New York City. Is
you
that
can
right?
see where I am at my.
You know, the only way we're gonna be able to raise enough money to get Scott back from his Dubai kidnappers is if you buy hundreds and hundreds of our autographed merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
But that one?
Oh.
Yeah.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah. Scott, show us on the doll where the Dubai kidnappers hurt you.
I'm going to blink twice.
That's terrible. Hey, anybody who works in Dubai makes a lot of money. So
that's right.
We'll just say, Elliot, you are not in New York City. That's a rare thing. Are you on vacation?
I'm not. I'm on vacation. Let's see. You can maybe see the ocean right there. I'm in the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
That is obviously a green screen.
It's spectacular here. I've been here for 3 weeks. Going home
Don't
tomorrow.
rub it in. Barry, you're in Los Angeles. Is that right?
No, I'm back. I'm back in the frigid Northeast, where the wind is howling and the snow is blowing.
Is it really? Oh, I missed it.
Really?
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Bear, is that?
Spring is coming. I can feel it. What?
Hey, Bear, is that thing you're sitting on? Is it as fuzzy as it looks, or is it an illusion of the screen?
No,
it's fuzzy.
That's it. It's very fuzzy and warm.
Are you naked from the waist down?
I would be.
You know, most days, yeah, but
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
That's COVID, you know.
I refuse to answer.
That's COVID.
Renee says it's very windy in Massachusetts, and I think Captain's World 1986. Hey, folks from North Carolina. Hi there. Yeah. So it's an awesome day to be together. There's one person missing.
Yes, there is.
Our friend Lynn Thigpen. And Lynn is no longer with us in physical form. But this is actually the anniversary of her passing. And we wanted to be loving and respectful to this wonderful person. So I was able to reach out to her partner, longtime partner, Larry. And Larry spoke to me about Lynn, just a brief thing, and I just wanted to play that for everybody. So let's go.
I met her first in college at the University of Illinois. She was lots of fun, a wild sense of humor, not really conscious of herself as being a star ever. Very much somebody who felt she was part of the working project. Always worked with the crews and with everybody else on whatever project or movie or TV show she was in. Always having fun, always working hard. Amazing imagination. She was doing off-Broadway theater at the same time. The casting call for Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego came up, and she said, I don't know if I can do this. And I said, go take the interview. It's what can it hurt? It's PBS. She had a lot of fun doing that. She expressed that a lot. She enjoyed going to work, even if it meant getting up, at 6 a.m. and then doing Carmen and then coming back, changing clothes, going to the theater and working again until 10:30 or 11 at night. She would come home pretty much energized by the experience each day and the fun they had. It was a lot of fun, and everybody was nice. She really was proud of the work that they accomplished as this team, doing this stuff ad hoc, a lot of it improvised. She really, really enjoyed working with the people.
Thanks, Lynn. Lynn was a Tony winner. She was on the original Godspell movie. She was Bear in the Big Blue House. She cornered the children's market.
That's right.
2 Carmen Sandiego video games.
She played she was the stage manager in the movie Tootsie.
That's
See,
right.
right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you find.
I want to go back and watch that film.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great singer.
Great singer. That's
Yeah,
right.
great.
It
I
just doesn't- I
remember
mean,
being
That was
a
fun.
little bit. I was a little bit in awe of her because she was so good and so professional, but she was always really kind. I felt like I was not much of an actor, and she was always really sweet to me and very encouraging, and I was grateful to her for that, as opposed to Greg Lee, who was a total asshole to me.
Well, I was. And
Oh, is Greg
someone
here?
had to-
Oh, shit.
Glad you made that distinction for everyone so we know.
Oh, man. And someone also said she was also on Lean on Me. I
That's
didn't know
correct.
that.
Huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So we've got a lot of awesome photos. Let's just remind people who just got here that we are also appearing the 18th, which is coming right up. We won't be quite as fancy as this live stream, but we will be signing autographs. This is the autograph. Take away the text in the upper left and ignore link in bio. There is no bio. But this is the autograph thing that we will be signing. As you can see, people who have the soundtrack album, it echoes the artwork of the CD, and everyone's hair is really good. And I encourage you to pick that up. Take a look at streamily.com/Carmen Sandiego. Yeah. So we've got a lot of questions coming in. So I'm going to go to the fancy question/video. I got to put up the missing cameras here. Let's see. We've got Elliot. If you have questions, you can type them in the chat, and we'll do our best to get to those questions. There are a lot of questions. There's Scott. Boom. Okay. And just as a background, I'm going to play quietly the behind the scenes, very quietly, because we know what's on there, behind the scenes video from this.
And welcome to opening day for Carmen Sandiego.
So now it's quiet.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Well, I'll get you your own copy.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So right up top, on the email situation, we've got a question. Which word on the street segment did you like the best? And there's so many, so I'm going to say, what do you remember the best? That's probably the best question. And anyone can chime in. Word on the street is...
Any of them.
Any of them. They were all pretty darn clever.
Yeah, they were pretty fun. Yeah. I can't remember one in particular. I remember the chases more than I remember the...
What was your favorite chase?
Well, I don't think this is... I don't think I made this up in my head. And Scott, you can back me up on this, but I always think about the time when there was a chase that came through, and you guys had all come through, and Scott was the last guy, and you went to jump behind me. There was that big window, and you went to jump through the window, and they put up a screen.
Wow.
But you didn't know it, and I didn't know there was one there either. And when you went through the screen, it just, the whole half of the office just went like that, you know.
Oh my gosh.
That was hilarious.
In case people don't know, on television, nothing is a real building.
Really? Which was a surprise to me. It was the first time I read it.
There are a few questions like this, so you're going to have to dig into your memory, guys. Sorry. Hey, Rockapella. What's that, Scotty?
I'm trying to think of word of the street.
Oh, yeah.
I was really good at memorizing
apua. How about that one?
Good at memorizing, but
Humu humu nuku nuku apua.
Oh, right. Vivian, right.
Vivian remembered that one. I remembered. As soon as she said it, I remembered it.
Yeah, I remember.
This one, I don't know what this means. The word on the street when they took Greg's clothes.
I think I'd
I
remember.
wish I'd remember that one.
Took my clothes?
the word on the street was
wasn't
pervert.
that Goodwill?
Well said.
What is that?
So, Greg, let's keep talking about Lynn and you because you did Lynn pre-taped most of her.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, after that first year. The first year was the one that just was sort of like,
Everybody all
hold on and here we go, you know, and then we just did everything live, and including Greg and Lynn's office, and then everything the guys were doing, everything just kind of, we started and then we just went. And occasionally changed the rules as we progressed, you know, through different rounds and such. But yeah, I think it's by the second year is when we figured out to have her do her segment earlier. And now that Larry mentioned it in the pre-tape, that I'd forgotten that she was still doing things that at night still. So she would come and do our show and then go do stuff at night. And so I think we had to do it that way too. But
Theater
it also
stuff,
worked,
yeah.
but it also worked better that we would just get all of her stuff out of the way. I think like it took us maybe 2 weeks to do all of her stuff, and then we would do the rest of the show without her.
And speaking of her singing, didn't she do an overdubbed like a Motown backup girls thing with multiple Lynns?
Yeah, the Acmettes.
The Acmettes.
The Acmettes. Yes. Just
So
spectacular.
talented,
like 3 or 4 names. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? Do you remember any? Some of them are pretty crazy.
Well, my favorite was Mr. Lee, when she did Mr. Lee, of course. My little theme song. Yeah, it was just great. They were all great. Yeah.
Greg, I'm reading this directly off the email. Greg and Barry, which of the 2 sketches were your favorite? Mrs. Pumpkin Clanger, I can never say that word, or my Buddy Buzz. Buddy Buzz or Pumpkin Clanger, how about that?
Buzz.
I mean, I think, there's a lot of these best questions, but isn't it all great?
Which one did you like doing more, Barry?
Well, I have a special affection for Mrs. P.
Yeah, I do too.
She was really something else. So and I like the relationship that she had with Greg.
Very mysterious. We'll never know, will we? But there was a spinoff.
They ran a poker room in the back of the.
There was a very short-lived spinoff that we did, about 3 episodes.
That's a great
just
idea.
The 2 of us. Yeah, it was great.
I like the baby that Barry did.
The baby, yes, the baby.
Oh, the big baby.
Maybe Greg fathered that baby through his
Wow.
I suppose.
Well, if he did, if he was the father, he abused the baby, man. There was that one time he smashed me in the mouth with a binky. I guess he shut me up.
I forgot all about that.
Barry, did you shoot Pumpkin Clanger up high? How high up were you? The illusion of television. How high were you really in the set?
I was probably about 10 feet off of the ground.
Really, they really did it.
Yeah,
Wow.
Right. I had a window, second-story window.
So they could just angle up. Yeah.
The hard one for Barry to do, I think, was the Kafka, where you were the
the cockroach.
You had to get it was very tiny space to get into.
Well, that was not as bad as the costume. I would just sit in that thing and sweat.
Sean, do you remember chasing you through the audience? Greg was chasing you through the audience with a snowball. Do you remember that one?
Very well.
Yes,
You do.
that's
Very
that's
well.
on YouTube, and that's one of the ones that I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
And
even if
I'm proud of my limited acting abilities in that one.
spectacular. That was
Like when
fantastic.
Greg finally hits me with the snowball, and I fell and I sort of slithered down the office wall. I was very proud of that.
Spectacular.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was really method.
I would remember. I would
But
remember that.
I'm watching this footage, and it's so Blair Witch crazy. It's kind of
Yeah.
amazing.
It is distracting.
This is
I know that
Jonathan. This is producer Jonathan Meath, who is now a professional Santa Claus.
Is he really?
And when Rockapella was on tour with the Boston Pops, the holiday tour, he was one of the Santas.
Really?
And he came up in full, and he was like, "It's me."
I can see him as a
So let's see that we got another one here. The flipboard. Let's see, was used to find blah 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 blah.
the second round thing.
How did it operate? Well, it was a guy back there. Was it the same guy for all 5 seasons?
No,
6 seasons?
I don't think so. Unless you guys know differently, but it was 2 people I think for sure it took to run that.
Yeah.
And just the snappy. That's probably the way every game show did their.
Probably in those days.
There was
yeah.
nothing really magically technological.
But my favorite part of that, of course, was when these guys would come up with the
That's right.
stings.
But
which
also
they
when
would-
when the things would
Yeah,
fall
that was
off
classic.
the board.
Oh, hey, I don't know if I stole this or if it was given to me, but I ended up with it.
Oh man!
That's an easy
Actual
$5,000 on eBay.
NFT.
Yeah, that's
Wow, that's something.
Sean's ready to NFT his warrant sign. That is the warrant from all seasons.
I don't know, but maybe I just took it. I have no idea. I mean,
Maybe.
maybe I think
There
it
was,
was.
after he took it, there was
But
Maybe.
what's really
I don't
cool
know
is
how I
that,
got it.
Maybe.
is that it
Patty larceny.
there's a lot of text on it, and I asked McPaul Smith and Jamie Greenberg, and neither of them remembers who wrote it, but they don't think it
Really?
was them.
You can
But
make
yeah,
$2,000.
there's a lot of kind of.
Katie says $2,000, Sean. Let's go, says Katie. She's on it. I think we can probably raise the stakes at this point.
Go, Katie.
It's free eBay.
What if we
ad.
sign it? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll have a bidding war.
If it weren't for the delay, I would say they should sing the warrant, but that's not gonna.
Oh,
the
that would
delay
be
is
so.
terrible.
I also have a. Wait.
This is Billy Strauss.
Really?
That was Billy Strauss, everybody.
Oh yeah.
That's the guy, changing my life, Billy Strauss for Rockapella. That's a terrible shot of him. That's Phil,
There's Phil. That's
our
Phil.
road manager.
Many road manager.
You guys hired him out of Carmen, is that right?
Yes.
Right.
And I work with
And
Phil
Billy,
before.
And that's
Billy,
the banana.
for I think season 5, he was hired to record and mix the clues. Right. I know he was on
really?
set because we pre-recorded all those
Right.
clues on the
Yes.
last season.
There's Phil.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Feels great.
I think he won a daytime Emmy for the
I think he
for
did.
music.
I think he did.
I think he
And
may have. Yeah.
The props
sound.
people did too. All those wonderful props.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mayim Bialik. Oh, from
Jeopardy?
Jeopardy. Yeah, now Jeopardy.
And,
I used to say Jeopardy. She was on. wasn't she?
Blossom.
Blossom.
Yeah.
What other? I've got Tatiana Ali. This is
Yes.
a comment. Did you get to talk to any of them, or did they were
No.
they ushered in and ushered out?
No, we had I think we had a celebrity show with them, didn't we?
I was before my time.
I believe we did. Do you guys remember? I think we had it. Didn't we have a celebrity show?
Yeah. I
Elliot's
remember her
watching,
being
you
on the
can
show, and I remember that other host, Mark something.
Mark Summers.
Oh, yeah.
From
Yeah.
Double Dare.
And you wore
David
the identical.
Cassidy was on it.
David
Yeah.
Cassidy, yes.
I remember.
I remember talking to David Cassidy.
Yeah.
You got to hang out. What'd you say? Was it on the side of the stage or like sitting down with coffee?
I think it was sitting down on the stairs of the office.
That's cool.
Oh, Fern.
Oh, Fern, I just saw that too.
Here's the makeup room.
Fern is our was the makeup person. She was
Shout
wonderful
out.
to work with.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Sean, how? This is a big one. Probably you've told it many times, but how did you come up with "Hoo Up Hootin' Boobay"?
Okay, so this is it's a little
30
embarrassing
seconds.
because the song that David Yazbek and I were trying to mimic, or the groove we were trying to mimic, was a song by this a group that was on the radio called Jane's Addiction, and the song was "Caught Stealing," and
Caught Stealing,
it's a really funky groove. It's like dang 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 dang, but for some reason it got the way that I was able to approximate it on the demo was going hoo up, hoo boobay, hoo up. So not nearly as funky as I had hoped. But hey, it stuck. So
fast forward over that
Yeah,
strange thing.
That's great.
Rockapella often did cover songs as a band. The stage setup, I got to do a few of those, but you guys remember, I remember working out the arrangements in Scott's apartment, at least for season 5, and then a lot of those arrangements ended up on the road. Is that a fair statement, Scott?
Oh,
The covers that
On
we
the
worked
road
out on your
shows?
dining table. Yeah, I remember like a lot
covers.
of the covers that we
Probably.
had to do. Yeah.
yeah,
Sean, do you have any?
They probably expanded on them, I guess.
Yeah.
We did some that we were already. They would do songs that we already knew, like "Pretty Woman" and some other things that were easy. So we just changed the lyrics.
I remember when you guys recorded the Beatles tune. I forget what it was.
Oh, yes.
But when you ended
yesterday.
yeah, when you ended up
Yesterday.
like the cover,
That was amazing.
there was a gasp in the studio because I think you pre-recorded it. I think there were no kids there. It was just us,
Yeah.
the crew,
Right.
and we were all just like when that final thing hit and the final image was there, we were just all in tears. I mean, it was just
my God.
perfect, man. It
That was
just
great. That was memorable.
fantastic. Oh man, that just took my breath away, man. That was a great one.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
That was memorable.
Very good. And Elliot doing Elvis was good.
yeah.
Yeah, he's. I think he was on the intro video. I found that clip.
Yeah.
That was
I
shot
just
very
remembered, literally, I was watching you, Scott, in a like a cowboy outfit, and I just remembered "Back in the Heart of Bob Wills." I have no idea why that came into my head.
Deep in the heart of Bob.
Yeah, that's it. Deep in the heart of Bob.
Yeah, yeah. That was fun. That sounded good. If I
I've got
recall.
a little comment here. Greg, tell everybody how you met your lovely wife on
Oh,
set.
that must be from my lovely wife. It has.
Host
to
at
be.
home. I think that's Adam
Oh,
Wurtzel.
that's Adam Wurtzel. Oh. Well, we've told the
Oh,
story.
hey, we should give a shout out. That's another interview with all of us.
Right, we're trying to expand on that, but the first one was Host at Home
Yeah,
with
Adam.
Adam. Yeah, great show.
And a great host too. He's a fantastic host.
So you met
Just
your
so
wife,
many
huh?
things. I did meet my wife. Pinch Lee was there. Pinch Harris at the time.
What was her job?
She was one of the producers. I think her actual title was Word Queen.
Word Queen.
Yes,
Oh, I remember
Word
that.
Queen. Word Queen was in this thing, and she was just sort of the one in charge of making sure the things were pronounced properly and spelled properly. And I don't know if you guys remember I think it was the first season when the Soviet Union broke up and they had to change the map overnight. Remember the big map had to get changed. So she
we
was
had to check in Slovakia.
yeah.
We had to change
And Slovakia.
Yeah. So when I first started working there, they assigned her to me to help me with my pronunciations. I have a little trouble reading once in a while, so they put her with me, and she was not happy about it. And I will tell you, she was not a nice person for about a year and a half. And I'm not even kidding. And I would say that if she was sitting here right now, because she would agree with me. She was not that nice to me for about a year and a half. But then we got to be buddies, and then there you go. And so
Wow.
that's how that goes. Gonna be 30 years September.
30 years.
And
Wow.
We'll go to 2-year contracts after that with a review, and we'll see.
Oh, you're in LA.
Yeah, well, keep everybody on their toes. Keep it
Oh my
rocking.
gosh. Well,
Hey,
Sean,
Jeff, there's an interesting question here, actually, from Brian.
Please.
Talking about the Carmen music, I have a question. The first track on the Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego soundtrack is Capital. Was Pierre, South Dakota left out on purpose or by accident?
No, it was intentional.
Because what?
And not only
Hate
that,
that place.
I'm embarrassed to say that. So, in the outro, I'm screaming, "Pierre, Pierre, we forgot Pierre," but it's pronounced Pierre.
Pierre.
But I didn't know that. But then we got the mayor of Pierre, Gary Drews. I called him up, and it's not that hard to get a small town mayor on the phone apparently, and he agreed to do that shtick on the record, where he says that he vehemently objects to the callous omission of his fine city, and not only that I mispronounced it. So we did that intentionally. That was intentional.
Hey, Sean, for those people who haven't seen Adam's wonderful show on Hosts at Home, can you please go back to, and everyone else, of course, go back to how the producers found Rockapella and brought you in, like the sequence of events, anything you can remember? Yeah.
So I was in my apartment on East 10th Street in Manhattan, and the phone rang, and I picked it up, and it was Dana Calderwood, who was the original director and one of the creators of Carmen Sandiego. And he said, "Hey, I saw you and Rockapella on Spike and Company Do It a cappella, and we're putting together a game show for kids called Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, based on the computer game, which I had never heard of. Would you guys like to come in and audition for the role of house band?" And that was it. I had never heard of Carmen Sandiego.
Yes,
please. we were not our only experience singing for kids was horrible. We would do bar mitzvahs on Long Island, and kids would jeer at us and make fun of us. Kids were merciless toward us. So the idea that we would end up being a family act was very
I've never heard that. That's funny.
unusual and preposterous.
That's funny.
Unusual and preposterous, Rockapella.
Yeah.
And Greg, tell us about them reaching out to you. You've done a lot of television. What were you doing at the time? Were you doing something before? Or?
I did a fair amount of a lot of Nickelodeon stuff, and I'd worked with a lot of the producers, Howard Blumenthal and Danny Calderwood, and some others.
So they liked you.
Well, they knew me from. I used to do audience warm up a lot, and a little bit of hosting for Nickelodeon, and I think that was the only reason I was still in the game, because they wanted somebody originally that was, had traveled a lot, spoke a lot of languages, and which that was not my bag. But I think what they liked was that I didn't get too uptight about things going poorly or being surprising as we
in the midst of low budget glory.
I kind of like that stuff. I think it's kind of fun. So I think that was the one reason that I was still in the game for a while there, because I think they looked at a lot of people, like 300 people or something. So it was
oh my God.
It was just not something I was expecting to get. I remember just thinking, I'll probably get a warm-up gig from this, or maybe some writing or something, which I'd be happy with.
And Larry mentioned that Lynn was like, "Gee, I'm not sure."
Yeah.
And was that kind of your reaction, or did you be like, "Well, whatever, let's go"?
Oh, for me to be
for your reaction.
No, I was thrilled to be on it. I was just surprised that I was going to be on it. Yeah, I was. It took me by surprise. I was doing it basically because I thought I would get a warm-up gig, maybe an announce, and maybe.
And you said they might be looking for someone who had language skills. Does that mean that their original intent was that you'd welcome people in different languages?
I don't know what it was.
Cosmopolitan host.
I just know the guys I was up against, and I remember the last final audition, and they were so tall and lots of hair, and they were gorgeous, and they traveled everywhere, and they'd been everywhere, and oh man. And it was just not going to be good, because I was looking through the door, seeing who I was up against. I said, well, maybe I'll get a warm-up gig.
Was there a line of guys? Friendly guys?
At that time, for that final callback, when you go in front of all the big shots, it was just the three guys, with the last three guys. Then I knew I would not get it, because they were very talented guys and just very camera.
Hey, Greg.
Yes.
Hey, Greg, speaking of warm-up, didn't Mike Sweeney do a bunch of warm-up?
He did warm up for us, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he became like the head writer for Conan or somebody.
Yeah,
right?
something huge. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And you know, Dana Calderwood directed for Conan the first year.
Right,
I
right.
heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's see what else here. Scott, tell us about that first season where it's in a different location from the next seasons, as I understand it. Is that right?
It was in Chelsea, right? The first season was
In the
down
middle
like
of Manhattan. Yeah.
27th.
Yeah, it was like
20
on
23rd.
26th Street or something like that,
Yeah,
or 28th Street.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy because, like Greg said, the whole show was you tape it from straight through. So we had to like do our numbers live, do the middle game live, do the end game live. It was more like Keystone Cops kind of thing until they figured out we could do it better. So it was stressful. We get picked up early in the morning from our apartments and driven out, which was a lot better than when we had to drive all the way to Astoria. But
Yeah.
we'd show up and just buckle up and start going for it. And everything
Yeah.
was like with the word the street was, kind of down and dirty. You remember it really quick. You get it that day or right before the scene or whatever, and try to memorize this paragraph or two, and then lay it out. And then if we had a song, you go right into it, and it was fun, I guess. When I look back, I think of it as a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And plus, the good thing is that the ending, we would lip sync to some things, like the opening. That was probably from the first season, wasn't it? We were lip syncing for the opening in the alley, and then the closing song. We weren't singing live, so that was easy.
Yeah.
And other than once we got to the other seasons where we pre-taped all the singing, it was pretty laid back because it was like we were just like, oh, just roll tape, and then we'd have to do one or two things each show, and then the middle game we could focus on our list of naughty little words to try to fit into the middle game. Got kicked down a lot.
Stop.
I can't imagine front to back. Like, it's such an illogical decision. Like, who was thinking that would be?
I just don't think we.
Whatever.
I don't know. I think the hardest thing for me that first year was just because it's seriously. I don't know if you guys remember, but a lot of the rules changed as we went along. I don't know if you remember that. Like just even how that middle part worked, and then I think they had to get 8 places in 45 seconds, but they had me read the big list of clues beforehand. So parents would get mad at me because I'm not reading fast enough.
so much angst.
I could, I'd just be blazing through the clues, and they'd be, "Why is that guy reading so slow?" Because he's eating up all my kids' time. Which I was like, "Oh."
This was covered on Adam's interview also, but Sean and Scott and Elliot, let's talk about the Flipboard. For people who don't know, you guys were doing it live, just off camera, like hovering over the set. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. Absolutely.
In fact, Jeff, isn't there some footage of us doing that?
I wouldn't know where to find it on this reel, but it's there.
Oh, on this thing?
Yeah, we were like, literally right out of camera range, to the left of the board.
But still in my eye line, as I recall.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is.
So hard.
And of
it
course,
was just so hard to concentrate because.
And of course, we were trying desperately to crack you up, but
That's right. So there was you were constantly laughing at what they came up with.
Well, because I could see them off to the side, and they'd be going through their list,
and you didn't want to know ahead of time. You wanted to be surprised.
Yeah, of course, it was the fun
when
part.
you're repeating all this stuff.
Yeah. So I'm trying to pay attention to the game, but I'm getting distracted by them because it's going to be funny.
Right.
And we would always have more than we needed because we didn't know how quick the kid was going to get the thing.
That's
so
right.
A lot of our finest work was never made it on camera.
I wish you kept
you're like,
those.
oh, come, are you kidding?
You got it too fast. The kid got it too fast. We have better stuff.
Probably why we never won an Emmy. Probably.
You were saving the good stuff to the end, and you never got to it.
Oh man. Somebody just wrote. Vivian just wrote. Low budget. When stuff fell off the board. Yeah.
that's it. Yes.
Love that.
Do you remember too at that same second round when the kids pull that thing to put Carmen in jail?
Oh
They pull the chain, and I was told everywhere.
Not connected to anything.
Well, yeah, but everywhere I went, kids would say, "Well, that's one of my favorite parts when you do that," and then it cuts the cartoon, or the animation of that going.
Oh
down.
yeah.
And so I remember seeing every once in a while you'd see a kid with a little bit of disappointment as they would look up and see there's
nothing above them
just kind of
on television.
Nothing's happening.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
no sound effect, nothing.
No sound effect.
That rocked the world of some nice 40-something out there right now.
Yeah. Sorry, kid. Nothing's gonna happen.
Let's talk quickly about Phil the Barber.
Oh.
I count myself
yes,
lucky that because I was the new kid, I got to do like 3 Phil the Barbers with giant hair on. But
Oh yes.
yeah, was that coming from someone in your life?
Well, there's an old character I've done for a long time called Brother Preacher, which is sort of, I say it's sort of my dad and sort of my cousin and sort of me and a lot of guys I grew up with. But I think he was
You're from
Nebraska, Oklahoma.
Nebraska.
Yeah. And my dad was a preacher, and it was sort of a character based on some of those people that I knew. And then I think we just made him into it was just
turned the volume up on
Yeah,
him.
Brother Preacher became a barber. Yeah.
That's right.
Which my favorite episode, which was that very last one, it was Sean, when we brought Phil the Barber out.
Oh, right. Sean, let's talk about, we don't have to obsess over this, but I know that for people who've known Rockapella a long time, your braids were, oh God, he had them ready. I knew he had them ready. They're in a nasty little plastic bag.
Okay, am I allowed to say that now that it's legal? And I don't even smoke, but I'm trying to find the braids, and all I'm finding is like this marijuana. I didn't even smoke.
Oh my
God, Sean! I was gonna say
marijuana.
People keep giving it to me.
Marijuana.
Oh no, but I do have the braids.
You're like one of those child stars gone bad.
That's right.
Yeah. Real bad.
So the question
I
is,
do have the braids.
if you add a few of those to the warrant on,
NFT.
does that get you more money? Like eBay package deal, braids and
I don't know.
warrants.
I gotta figure
More
out
than
what to do
twice
with
the
these.
price.
Yeah.
Oh,
And when
this
Phil-
smells good. This is the good stuff.
And when Phil the Barber cut those
braids,
off,
this
the
is
other
the
guys
real
didn't know we were
stuff.
going to cut them off. I
That's
think
right.
that's
You
the
can.
thing.
The
No,
clip
that
is
was-
out there. In fact, it might be on this reel, but we didn't know.
Didn't know.
You knew.
I knew I was going to cut them off.
And there's a video on the credit roll.
We didn't know you would end our career.
That's right. It was it's over per braid. A
It
little
was
5-year
it
period.
was the last taped episode, which is pretty awesome.
You can only take upstaging so many times,
It
so many
was.
years.
Didn't you tell me, Sean? I don't want to embarrass you, but we were in a recording session. I think Carmen Sandiego, Out of This World, the second album. And didn't you tell me that the XTC guy who co-wrote or wrote "Cherry in Your Tree" was it?
Yeah, he wrote it. Yeah.
Commented on your braids. Is that something?
I don't remember that, but he may have.
In the song?
And he's one of my idols too. So if he said something bad, I probably put it out of my mind.
Sorry, I got that from somewhere.
But the weird thing about after 1 or 2 episodes of season 1, Howard Blumenthal, the creator and producer of Carmen Sandiego, sat me down and he said, "We've talked about it, and we'd like you to cut your braids."
Oh,
and
Really?
yeah, and
What season?
at the very beginning, like while we were still doing stuff.
really?
And I said no. And in retrospect, if somebody gave me the opportunity to be on a TV show now and told me to cut off my arm, I would say okay.
The power of television.
I'm like, yeah, no problem.
It's true.
Yep. I remember the first
But at
season.
the time, I felt so this righteous indignation, like,
That's
how
good.
dare
Rock
he?
star.
You know, they hired me because of this look, and now they want me to cut them off. But then,
Yeah.
years later, Howard said to me, "You know, I remember when I asked you to do that, and I regret that, and we were wrong." And he apologized, and I think they were grateful that
Oh, what's this?
the
shot?
braids
Look at
for, you know,
this.
it's funny because now, when I look back at that now, it's, well, it wouldn't fly now. I think it would be categorized as cultural appropriation, but in the mid '90s,
The Bodaric.
in the early '90s, it wasn't, and it was just kind of goofy. So
This is a rare, right now on screen, that's a rare moment when she was on there with us, because that's Sean's camera the same
Oh,
day.
right.
Same day.
Yeah.
So that's a moment when she came back. Must be a pickup of some kind.
I don't know, or maybe the last show.
Oh, very cool. She's on a keyboard, I believe, singing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
There he is.
I think most of the stuff we're watching is season 4, season 5, because it's Hugh Martin is directing.
Definitely 5.
Somebody asked.
Yeah.
That was one of the questions.
Was he on for just the last season or season 4 and 5?
5, as I understand it, they brought.
I thought he was on for the last 2 at least.
I think 2.
Okay.
Yeah. That was somebody asked that question. Who's the guy with the glasses? That's Hugh Martin.
That's Hugh Martin, the director. Yeah.
Great director.
Rob Rice, Jeff. What about the Where in the Universe planetarium footage? Okay, it exists, and it'll probably be on a future Rockapella Hangout episode. So that you'll just have to subscribe to see it. That's all I have to say. Rockapella and Lynn, once again, pre-tapes. I think. Scott, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Pre-taped, she wasn't there, I don't think. The planetarium show.
For what?
For a planetarium show when we were all there.
That was separate from the. It was that
Right.
later? Or it must
She
have been
was
later.
on it. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we didn't do it together. We just put it together afterward.
Yeah. Well, guys, this has been great. Elliot, have you spotted any other questions that we've missed? Some tasty bits.
I was looking. I didn't see anything that jumped out at me. Sorry.
No problem. Some of the footage we can't really play the audio on, but something we should probably tell, which is very fun, is that there was a lot of dancing in between takes.
Yes.
And Brian Setzer's Rainbow on My Shoulder and
right.
some Latin thing or something would be played by the crew. To keep energy up, would you say? You tell the story.
I think so. It was Robert Agnello, I think, started that. You guys remember him? He worked sound.
Yeah.
I think he started playing it, and it just got everybody kind of dancing, and I think it was probably to keep energy up initially, and then it kind of became towards the end. I think it kind of became an end of day sort of thing. It was just such a great little tune.
I would love to play that, but we would have a licensing issue.
Oh, really?
There's some great stuff where it like on the 10th repeat. Like there was literally formation dancing with Rockapella, like,
really?
Like rushing the camera all together, and
I've
like
gotta
there's
see
great. I'll try and find that, and maybe we can fudge it and license it.
Yeah, Robert Agnello was the genius behind that, I think. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, guys. Any parting thoughts, memories, happy times? We're back.
I was the backstage footage is kind of weirdly mesmerizing because I'm seeing people from the crew that I haven't seen in a year and since we shot the show.
I hope they.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Went on to great things.
Yeah. I'm sort of amazed that they let me do that. It was a handheld camera, and I guess nobody cared that I was just shooting a lot.
Yeah.
What were you going to do with it? There was no place to put it. You're just going to watch it at home.
I have a feeling that if it was a TV show now, they would never let somebody shoot like that.
Yeah, there would be some lockdown, but what a treasure.
It's great.
Fans.
They'd be doing their own behind the scenes, though. There's always a behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's a good point. They'd be doing social media content, and that's not a bad idea. Like we could pull clips out of that and do some things. When do we get to see the Carmen Sandiego blooper reel one person wrote here? I think that's probably not something possible. The tapes are in a vault somewhere. Nobody's digitized.
I tried to put mine into the show so we wouldn't have to have a separate.
Yeah, right.
separate thing.
And on that
have
note,
have it all inclusive.
Let's just remind people who came late that we have a lovely, look at that. Take away the words in the upper left and the big red thing in the upper right. And we will be signing that live on camera, live on the 18th, which is coming up. So in order to get one of those, you have to actually buy one. You pre-order it, it's signed, and then it's shipped to you. And that's what Streamily does. Streamily.com/Carmen Sandiego. And there are also individual photos of the guys if you would like that sort of thing.
And we can, and we're going to personalize them.
We're going to personalize. That's an extra thing. You check the box, and you can get it personalized. So for those of you who do that, and actually anybody can watch, I think, and so forth, that'll be on the 18th. Thanks everybody.
Wait till you see what you have to personalize for me, Sean.
I don't even know what that means.
I'm tuning in.
Erichu, order my cast pick. Get ahead of the game here, because we may come back at some point with them, but once the signing is done, it's herding cats to get everybody together to do this.
That's right.
So you better get it. You got a week. But thanks so much, guys, for hanging out. And Scott, I wish you sweet dreams in Dubai.
Good man. Good man.
Thank you. A credit to your...
Wow.
And Greg and I are going to go get wasted, and, that's how it rolls. Thanks so much, everybody.
Great to see you guys.
Great to see you guys.
Great to see you all.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next